Hello and welcome to the Future.
It is Dom Knight and Charles Firth in a very echoey room because this particular version of the Future, Charles, has us stuck in a tiny room. We're in the same room sharing a microphone, which we never normally do.
No.
It's unhygienic. We're far too close to each other. It's unpleasant.
But this is the room that we're about to pad out with acoustic foam and make into the world's greatest podcast/vodcast studio.
Potentially. The only problem with the plan, Charles, is there's no way... I mean, how would we fit shitty Bluetooth into that plan?
I think everything in the podcast studio will be connected via Bluetooth.
Only via Bluetooth, yep.
It will be the most annoying studio in the world.
So sorry if this sounds a bit echoey, but thank you for finding us on the Welcome to the Future feed. Now, you might be hearing this on the Chaser Report feed on the weekend, but it's a standalone podcast now, and it's going to be released every Wednesday. It's Welcome to the Future Wednesday, a new episode dealing with only the worst tech to be released the past week.
I can't believe nobody else has thought of this as a podcast category because, there's a lot of good tech out there.
I mean, so many great tech podcasts. I'm a big fan of
Wirecutter,
MKBHD, the Waveform podcast. They're always keeping up to speed with what's happening
with good stuff.
The best, of what works now.
But what about the worst?
What about the stuff that shouldn't have? Not only does it not work well, but the very concept behind it is deeply flawed.
Funny you should say that because today we are reviewing something that is best described by saying, what do you get if you mix narcissism with Bluetooth?
I'm trying to think. We've covered so many Bluetooth devices that shouldn't have Bluetooth. How literal is this? A mirror?
It is mirror. It is a mirror. It's the smart mirror.
Smart mirror.
There is a whole category of products, which I didn't even know existed until last week, of smart mirrors, right?
Okay, so I've seen in a shopping centre, I saw a mirror where it can also project ads onto it. So it's a mirror some of the time and a screen the rest of the time. And at no point in the 3 years since they've installed it, this is at the World Square Shopping Centre in Sydney, if you have they ever sold an ad.
Right.
It is always, the mirror has annoying ads for ads on mirrors underneath your own image.
Yes.
And no one has ever bought one. So that's a deeply stupid idea. What's the smart mirror?
Well, the smart mirror, so the product that we're reviewing today is called the Ganpei 20 by 28 inch LED mirror.
Right.
Or LED bathroom mirror, really. And I chose this one because I think it really epitomises a lot of what all smart mirrors have, which is it has a light around its frame.
Oh, yeah, so like a kind of a
LED.
Hollywood mirror, like
like
in
LED
a star's
strip.
dressing room.
Yeah. And it's got speakers. So you can sync it to your phone and listen to music on it, right?
Right.
And it works as a mirror. Like it's got.
This is making my head hurt. So previously we had mirrors that weren't smart, that was reflective, in rooms that had their own independent light sources, like a ceiling light.
Yes.
And then you would have speakers.
No.
Separately, like you'd have a radio or whatever.
Yes.
But never before has this been converged into one device. Why? Why do we need these things in the one device?
Presumably because they'll break every so often.
Right.
And then because the problem with mirrors at the moment is you buy one, it probably lasts 100 years.
It does. You don't need to replace it.
You just install it in your bathroom. Maybe once every 20 years when you renovate your bathroom, you might get a new mirror. But there's no need to sort of replace a mirror because it's just a mirror. Right? But what if you added a whole lot of things that would then constantly break?
That's so true.
Then you'd have to keep replacing your mirror.
Well, that's what you want, but also the upgrade cycle, Charles. Like what tech companies are trying to do is take things that we had. I mean, when I grew up, we bought a phone, and that phone just stayed there, stayed on the wall for 20, 30 years.
No.
There was no need to replace it.
You don't.
Now we get a new one every year or two.
Yes.
So what they're trying to do, microwaves, all these things. Even cars, they're trying to get us to upgrade all the time. But no one's ever thought of upgrading a mirror before because we foolishly saw them as devices with only one feature, which was static.
Well, I can assure you that if you bought a Ganpei bathroom mirror, you would probably want to upgrade it pretty quickly because I want to run through the main comedy about this product is in the reviews, right? So
I love the
first thing is, and what we should do is probably there's some reviews from online. I'm going to actually play you a clip.
Can I just clarify before we get into the reviews?
Yeah.
The only thing it has, other than a regular reflective mirror, is Bluetooth speakers and a light. Like, there's no sort of smart thing that recognises your face. There's no cameras or anything. It's not doing anything with your reflection.
Well, it's got buttons. It's got buttons on the mirror. It's sort of cool. Like the buttons are sort of, it's like touch sensitive glass thing, and they light up, and you can turn on the light pressing the button.
But there's still no features beyond a separate light and a separate speakers. Like, there's not doing anything intelligent with the image that's on the mirror. It's not a screen, is what I'm saying.
Dom, it costs like $179. Okay. No, it doesn't.
All right.
Okay.
I've now understood the full extent of the smartness of this device. Got it.
I'll play you this clip. This is a man reviewing the smart mirror. He quite likes it, it would seem. This is how you connect the Bluetooth.
As you can see that it's very simple. Just you need to go to the setting, Bluetooth setting, and then just off, then on it, then just connect with LED mirror. Now it's connected. Then just select your favorite song and just play your favorite song. And you can listen.
So there you go. To connect the mirror to your Bluetooth, you have to turn your Bluetooth off first, right?
Of course.
And he says it's very intuitive, right?
Yeah.
Because, like if I'm explaining to my, mum or something like that, my 70-year-old mum, how to connect her Bluetooth to her mirror, then saying to her, well, the obvious thing to do is to turn off your Bluetooth.
Just disconnect it.
Yeah. But
fantastic.
The other thing that he for some reason leaves out of that wonderful tutorial is he's using an Android phone, right?
Right.
It would seem that you cannot connect iPhones to this particular brand of mirror. There's a litany of Amazon reviews of people giving it 1 or 2 stars, saying, it's great. It's sort of, the light seems to work and everything, but I can't connect my iPhone.
Is that? I mean, I don't want to praise Apple to the extent of Android. I mean, I'm an Apple fan in this game of things. Is it possible that the reason why we're curious about how this device could possibly have a function? Because what it actually does is uses Android phones, which are much less secure, to surveil you. It basically it uploads your. It's like the sort of speak. So it's like televisions from 1984. Like it watches you. It basically surveils you, and the iPhones block that because I can't. The only purpose I can possibly think of for having a speakers in a smart mirror is to just monitor the idiot who uses it 24/7, so that they don't realise. Like. There must be a nefarious purpose.
No, it's to listen to music.
Why do you need speakers in your mirror? How long do you spend in front of the mirror? Like, who spends the duration of a song looking at their mirror? Like, that's 3 or 4 minutes. Who needs... I mean, admittedly, I hate looking in mirrors because of how I look, but who are the people out there who need all that mirror time?
But like, your mirror's in your bathroom, you put the song on and then you have a shower and you're rocking out to the... There's a total use case there. There would be a use case anyway, except for the fact that...
That doesn't connect.
The other point is that all the reviews, even the fairly positive ones, point out that the speaker is a really shit speaker.
Well, it sounded terrible in that little clip.
It sucks. It sucks. It says AJ, who gave it 1 star. The other reviews I just go through. The first one is... and. This hadn't crossed my mind when I was thinking about smart mirrors, but where do you plug a smart mirror in?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. So you need to get it professionally installed.
Of course.
Yes. So the thing is that the manufacturers of this mirror haven't really thought about how big the plug needed to be. So apparently the plug head is huge. And so you actually...
AC adapter or like power pack or something.
Yes. And so you need to... It's much, much thicker than the mirror itself.
Right.
So you need to basically create a huge hole in your wall and get an electrician to create a recessed...
You got to spend hundreds of dollars digging out a giant hole in your wall and burying a power plug in it.
Yes.
For a device that you'll probably need to replace within 12 months.
No, not within 12 months. Generally, the reviews say that it dies after about 6 months.
And presumably being in an environment full of moisture... in the bathroom is not great for it.
Jessie Rafferty reckons hers turned up, broken on arrival. You can't hang it properly. Oh, that's the other problem is it's very hard to hang properly. Apparently, it doesn't sort of sit flush to the wall.
Brilliant.
But then the other, the best thing is the mirror itself. Somebody did a test on the actual quality of the mirror.
They fucked up the mirror bit?
Yeah. And
you had one job.
It's not shatterproof. So what it does is if you chip it, it explodes. It's got this sort of explosive quality to it. Right.
So one's tiny divot off the side, as happens, for instance, I don't know, in shipping, and the entire thing will shatter into 1,000 tiny cutty pieces.
Yes, that's exactly right. It is not explosion proof, not safe, ! Yeah, so if you want to get that, it's called the Ganpei 20 by 28 inch LED bathroom mirror. You will be able to get it from Amazon for about $179 Australian.
Seriously?
Yes.
Because how much does a Bluetooth speaker for the bathroom that's waterproof cost, which you can put next to your existing mirror? And I'm just hypothesizing, Charles, that your bathroom already has lights in it.
Oh, the other thing is, I just forgot one of the key features is that, you know, the buttons that I was talking about?
Yes.
They don't work. They don't work when it gets foggy. The touch functions doesn't work. Oh, and so it's got an auto off feature.
Right.
But apparently the auto off feature doesn't work. You know, like after the first time it gets foggy, it just permanently doesn't work.
So it's not moisture proof.
And
it's not fucking waterproof.
It's impossible to turn off. Like there's this hilarious review from this woman saying she's got it installed. She thought it was wonderful. After 10 days, the auto off function stopped working. So it's just shining this bright light out of her bathroom 24 hours a day.
The thing I love about this, Charles, is that these aren't reviews from ordinary people. That, like, you would think,
yes.
And normally when you look at Amazon reviews, you're thinking, okay, this is just a cross-section of the population. But no, these are the kind of people who would order a smart mirror that costs $179 and they still didn't like it. That's extraordinary.
Yeah, these are a bleeding edge, mainly because the mirror shattered their hands. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So if you're wanting a smart mirror that doesn't connect to your iPhone and probably will hurt you and will break after a few weeks.
It will either be light up when you don't want it to or hurt you physically. I mean, we've reviewed a lot of terrible Bluetooth devices, Charles. I think this is the first one that could actually maim you. When we're decorating this new podcast studio, Charles.
Yes, we should get a smart mirror.
I really think a smart mirror would be wonderful.
Everything in this studio should be smart. We should get a smart water bottle so that we don't get dehydrated.
Yeah, and absolutely smart microphones just to ensure no one ever has to hear this podcast. Okay. Thank you for listening. Please jump on Apple Podcasts and give us a review. Look, obviously 5 stars. You're not reviewing the product, you're reviewing the podcast about the product.
Yes.
And we'll catch you next time here on Welcome to the Future.
Welcome to the future.
Our gear is from Rode. We're part of the Iconoclast Network, which is a network that we run. It also includes the Chaser Report, the Shot Podcast, and more exciting things to come.
And if you've got any suggestions for things you want us to review on this podcast, email podcast@chaser.com.au.
That's the one. Catch you next time in the future.
Future.